England stun Colombia with penalty shootout win. Keywords: England football team. Vile messages targeting Mateus Uribe and Carlos Bacca started to appear within minutes of Colombia being knocked out of the World Cup following the dramatic shootout. Uribe's penalty hit the crossbar while Bacca's attempt was saved by hero England goalkeeper Pickford. Mostly aimed at Bacca, who fans thought took the worst penalty and played badly. The posts warned the players they were dead, urged them to kill themselves and told them not to return to the South American country. The sinister messages were made despite a police investigation into early death threats made towards Colombian player Carlos Sanchez after he was sent off 3 minutes into the team's World Cup opener against Japan. Colombia's players watched on during the penalty shootout. Image: Getty Images Europe. Colombia bowed out at the competition after losing on penalties. Image: Rex/Shutterstock. Many outraged football fans pointed out that yesterday was the 24th anniversary of the death of Andrés Escobar, who was shot dead after his own goal was blamed for sending Colombia home at the 1994 World Cup. One post by Twitter user David Castaneda warned, "Die Carlos Bacca. Son of a bitch. No one wants you, gonorrhea. To this country you don't return." Another, John Duquesmo, wrote, "Thank you to all the players, except to 3-time son of a bitch. Useless, dead, Carlos Bacca. Don't come back here." Pickford hits back at Courtois jibe after penalty. Heroics. England's players celebrate their shootout win. Image: Reuters. Dejected Colombia players react following their defeat. Image: Getty Images Europe. Huma Fkoski wrote, "I hate you, Carlos Bacca. I hate all of you. I hate your indifference, your animal surname, and your ass's game. You're worse than a cancer. At least with cancer you can go to a doctor and find out what you have. Carlos Bacca, get depressed and kill yourself, so you don't continue living this agony." Patricio wrote, "Uribe, you are a piece of shit. I hope you die." Another user, Infinito, wrote, "That was Mateus Uribe's last game. That man is already dead." But other Colombian fans expressed their shock at the cruel messages. England grew up in nerve-shredding World Cup penalty shootout, says Kane. A Colombian fan cries in the stands following defeat. Image: Daily Mirror. Brian Sanchez wrote, "Don't wish for the death of Bacca and Uribe. Do we wish to repeat what happened to Andrés Escobar? Is this Colombia? Games are won and lost. We are a real country." Another, Lois Lane, said, "The anniversary of the death of Andrés Escobar and you are calling for the death of Bacca. I'm sorry, I can't stand such shit people. Get out of my timeline." And Morwanse wrote, "Now they start to insult and threaten Uribe and Bacca. Yesterday was the 24th anniversary of the death of Andrés Escobar. Please, please. Let's learn how to lose as well." Andrés Escobar was gunned down by a gangland figure 10 days after his mistake against the US knocked Colombia out of the World Cup hosted in the USA. Escobar was murdered following the World Cup in 1994. Image: AFP. Hours before the showdown with England, his brother, Sachi, had warned that the tragedy could happen again if Colombia failed to get through to the quarter-finals, and he pleaded with his country's passionate fans and gangland figures ensure that no other player is hurt or threatened if things didn't go their way. He said, "I want to send an important message to those people who think things can be resolved with violence, and with weapons, that they can take someone's life just because they make a mistake. In this case, the life of a football player. Football should be a vehicle of peace and social transformation, and at the end of the day, it is just a game. But I truly hope that, if Colombia failed to meet these expectations, then the tragedy that happened to my brother doesn't repeat itself. God forbid that it happens again." Uribe was one of the players to miss a penalty for Colombia. Image: Rex/Shutterstock. Bacca saw his penalty saved by Pickford. Image: Rex/Shutterstock, and he said of the death threats made against Sanchez, he said, "As a brother who has gone through this, I know what must be going through their heads. And I wouldn't want anyone to go through that. Carlos must be feeling both sad for the mistake he made, and very afraid, and his family too. My brother never received any threats. They just shot him dead in the most cowardly way. The fact that people are still allowed to say these things on social network sites, even threaten him with death. Shows me that nothing good came out of Andres' death. Nothing was learned. These people are just lowlifes who are not real Colombian football fans, who should be arrested and thrown